Welcome to the Wealth Top Podcast. We are here and we thank everyone for reaching out, getting on board, all the professionals that want to share their information, their wealth of knowledge, and we have a special guest with us today, who reached out and, I seen the things he's doing, amazing things. He's going to share with us all about it. Our special guest, Michael Arthur.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, Michael, thank you so much. We appreciate you for, reaching out, and that's what it's about. It's about connecting. As we connect, we build. A spark's going to come from here, right? And you're going to share all the principles of wealth creation, real estate investing, so many things that you've been involved with. But first, we want to go all the way back.
Okay.
I want to go from, when you're born, where were you born, where were you from, what was life like growing up?
Okay. So thanks for inviting me.
Yeah,
appreciate it, Richard. I was born originally from Toronto, born in Toronto. I'm a son of parents who immigrated from Ghana, West Africa in the early 70s. And then I was their first son. I'm a firstborn. I have 4 brothers. Unfortunately, one passed away. And thanks. And from there, went to high school here in Toronto, and then I went to University of Windsor to do a bachelor's in public administration. Then I was encouraged to go to graduate school. I did a master's of public policy administration at Carleton University in Ottawa. And then from there, I joined the Federal Public Service. I've been doing that for a while. And then how I got involved in real estate investing, or real estate in general, was that I became a real estate investor because what I saw was that I saw a friend of mine actually a lot of people who have, invested in real estate, made money. They converted their basements into apartments. And I said to myself, why don't I take advantage of that opportunity? But before getting to that type of environment, I have to get myself educated. So I took upon myself through a friend of mine to attend a real estate investment seminar, and I was connected to wealthy individuals who were in my shoes at the time. And I learned a lot of principles, strategies, a lot of knowledge, applied knowledge that is applicable today, which has helped myself and my clients.
How old were you at that time?
At the time, it was about a decade ago. I was about 30. I think I was like 36. I can't remember. Okay. 32, 36.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because the reason I'm asking that is because, I want to go even further back. I want us to stay there for a bit, because that's amazing that you got to that point, but there must have been something that led to that point for you to, explore that. So what was it like as a child? How was childhood like?
Childhood was great. My parents raised me well. They taught me a lot about finance and stuff like that, in terms of saving your money for a rainy day, getting to invest into RSPs, but working hard, generating income, going to school, get that education, because that's important. That will lead you to a path of opportunity and prosperity, like they went through. Because my parents, for example, my dad, before he came to Toronto, immigrated to Toronto, he went from Accra, Ghana to Brooklyn, and he studied hematology at the Columbia University. And when he back in Ghana, his education, his credentials were not recognized in New York and then eventually in Toronto. So he had to upgrade his education to get his federal and provincial license as a medical laboratory technician.
Yeah, wow, that's serious. That's serious.
Yeah.
So from there, then he came to Toronto.
Then he came to Toronto. And then he started working.
So where were you guys at this time? Were you guys traveling with him, or?
No, I wasn't even born. I wasn't even born at that time.
Okay.
I wasn't born at that time. This is the early 70s here.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he started to work for a hospital downtown Toronto, and then he sponsored my mom to come over from Ghana here. And then my mom came, and then she used to be a teacher and a nurse back home in Ghana. And then she started to become an underwriter. Actually, when I was born, while I was born, she was studying to become an insurance underwriter.
Oh wow!
So she took a course called the Principles of Underwriting, and and then she worked as an insurance underwriter. Then from there, then she became a ward clerk at a local hospital that my dad used to work in.
Okay, nice. All right, and then you guys were born here in Canada. Okay. All right, and then you went to like the schools here, so that you grew up with this kind of school system. Like, what were your classmates were like this similar culture?
But, I was in elementary school and in high school. It was very diverse.
Oh, okay.
Very diverse, different cultures.
What area was that?
In Scarborough area.
Okay.
Scarborough, East York area.
Okay.
And I got connected with people from different cultures, Italians, Greeks, and then people from the Black community, Caribbean folks, African folks, Ghanaian folks. It's like the United Nations.
Nice,
Think of it that way.
That's blessed. So what were you doing like for leisure like during around that time?
I grew up playing a lot of soccer.
Okay.
Because as you know, back home in Ghana, soccer is pretty big.
Yeah.
And that was imposed on me. I did soccer at the basic level. Intramurals. I played high school soccer. I played some university soccer, not as intramurals like tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then from there, I got involved in weight training. Do a lot of weight training, and then I got into the martial arts. I did some mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, and some jiu-jitsu stuff and Aikido.
Okay.
And and I learned about the aspect of discipline, hard work. Learning from your mistakes, from failures and stuff like that. The martial arts especially, and the other sports as well, teaches you a lot about life in terms of teamwork, team building, how to resolve conflict, how to become a leader, and those experiences instilled in me that to become a better version of myself, not only for myself but to help other people to reach their full potential too. So as the saying goes, like I always say this, is that real life experiences, or the experience is the best teacher. It's bigger than books, bigger than the classroom, because what's taught in the classroom is what's taught in school. It doesn't reflect what is the real world like at all.
Yeah.
So you need school for the fundamentals like arithmetic, writing, spelling, and all that stuff, which is fine. But school does not teach you about real life experience. Period.
Exactly. No, that's real.
Right.
So how did you get those real life experiences? Like, talk about that.
It's just getting out of my comfort zone, dealing with difficult people, being in difficult situations, dealing with adversity, dealing with setbacks, and learning from them, and how to avoid them. Getting coach and mentor. Like I always tell people, like if you have a mental problem, physical problem, or you need help, don't afraid to get help, because it doesn't make you look weak. It makes you stronger. Because the person that's going to help you is going to make you become a stronger person for you to persevere and overcome the obstacles that you're facing or your struggles that you're facing. Right. So I got a lot of coaching, a lot of mentorship through my teachers, through elementary school, high school, and university, and in the real estate environment. Yeah. For sure.
So that's deep because you going through that, and because you're talking about that earlier, you're talking about the education, then you're talking about your teachers, and you're talking about things. So I want you to really put a little emphasis on that, like, because it's important. I guess it's important to want to be a student, right? So go into that.
Well, I like to gain knowledge. I'm a student of knowledge. Because I like to use knowledge and apply it in real life, so that I can do the things I want to do, achieve the goals I wanted to achieve. And as well, I love to help people, right? Because people have helped me to be where I am today, right now. So it's a way for me to give back.
Yeah.
Based on the experiences that I have from my mentors, my coaches, my parents, of course, teachers and stuff like that. So that from those experiences, those lessons that they taught me, I can use those lessons and impose it on, or provide that level of encouragement and motivation and inspiration on others who used to be in my shoes, right? Because I don't like seeing people struggle. I like people to overcome their struggles so that they can reach their full potential and have the life that they want at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, so, that's big. That's big. You have something called, was it C.A.R.E or something like that?
The C.A.R.E principle is the foundation of not only my real estate business as a realtor, but as well as a real estate investor and a coach and a mentor. Is that C.A.R.E is broken down into this. C stands for customer service, right? I like to get a sense of what the customer is looking for. What are their struggles? What are their needs? So I do a needs assessment. Not what I want for them is what they want using my services, right? Because at the end of the day, they are the client. They are the person. They are the people that need help at the end of the day. So I do a needs assessment to learn about their goals, priorities, values, needs, setbacks, whatever, all that stuff. A stands for analysis, which means that from a real estate perspective, and analyze what's out there in the market, trends, where to invest, creative strategies, stuff like that. I analyze the market in terms of where the jobs are. That's where you invest. That's one of the principles of real estate investing. You're probably aware of that. And then from there, based on that analysis, I give them my advice based on that analysis. Because I make decisions based on evidence. I don't base it on someone making an opinion. I rather have hard facts to prove that what I'm telling you is the truth, not what this person is saying. It's not credible and all that stuff, right? So that's the analysis part. R stands for relationships. In any aspect of life or business, it's important to establish relationships because relationships lead to opportunities. So if I establish a relationship with you, which I'm starting right now, we get to know each other on a personal level, right? Because we might have something that you may need or I need to complement each other, to have the lifestyle that we want to achieve, goals we want to achieve, or to overcome the struggles that we're having, problems that we're having, right? So we help each other at the end of the day, right? We have a good relationship. So that involves honest, open communication, get to know each other on a personal level, what we like, where our common interests are, like you and I. Real estate is one of them, right? And in fact, we're both Ghanaian, heritage, right? So that's important as well. E, which is another important pillar of my business, is education. I can't say this more than enough. Without education, you're going to have problems. Education is important because education will tell you about how to solve problems, how to overcome struggle, how to deal with certain situations, certain people, and also education will inform you. It will make you well informed about what you need to do in terms of, solving your own struggles, what you need to do to get to achieving your goals that you want to achieve. And also it will tell you what you're not good at, where you need help, right? So that's how I define it, because part of my business as a realtor and a real estate investor is that I coach my clients to educate them that, okay, what you have this strategy, you want to implement it, this is what you need to do, and this is what you don't need to do, right? Because you want to give them a second set of eyes, because they're focusing in one direction, but you want to give them different options, different avenues, right? So that's part of what I do. That's because it's related to my personal values of helping people. I love to provide advice. I'm like an advisor. I love that. I love to help people, as I mentioned. I'm a problem solver as well. I love to solve problems as well, to help people to get where they want to be, right? So that's deep.
It lines up right with the principles with the map book, with the mind, because you're going deep into like reasoning, and you need, like what you're talking about, the education. Like when you make a decision, you have to have that reason in your mind that you're thinking. It's all the mind, but you need that education to, in a sense, fill it. To have, right?
And education, as you mentioned, helps you develop logic and reasoning.
Exactly.
Right? You learn from others in terms of how they make a good decision. How did they solve the problem? They use reasoning. They use logic based on evidence.
Exactly.
Based on listening to credible people. And stuff like that.
No, it's real. No, that's deep. Deep. No, I like that. The character. So I love how you're so service based. Right. And we're in now. We're gonna get deep into the stuff, but the coming up is important because like you said, overcome adversity. Like you said in this camera right here, you emphasize that. So what kind of adversity? Can you give us examples? Like what have you gone through to different levels?
in terms of real estate investing,
just in life in general.
Life in general,
yeah, of course.
Oh, I mean, I've been put in situations where people wanted me to fail. I put in situations where people were talking behind my back, making false accusations about me as a person, in terms of my character, which was not true. Being told through racism and discrimination that I should be working in a factory or become a janitor and all that stuff. And there's a host of others. It's too long to mention. There's a laundry list. But those that resonated in my mind, I overcame that because what happened was I surrounded myself with people who inspired me, people who didn't judge me for who I am. Because Martin Luther King said, you don't judge a person by the color of their skin, but the content of their character, right? So I surrounded myself with people, started with my parents, of course, teachers who wanted me to go further, who gave me guidance in terms of what I need to do.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. When I was in University of Windsor, one of my great mentors told me, Professor Lord Brownjohn, he's from Leamington area. He told me after taking his classes, he said, Michael, I see you're very productive. You do your work well. You do your assignments well. You do your papers well. I want you to go to graduate school. I never thought about it at all.
Wow.
So he wrote me a letter of recommendation, as well as another professor who I asked for because I needed 2 letters of recommendation to go to graduate school. And the other professor, Professor Stephen Brooks at University of Windsor, he told me, he said, Michael, sure, I can do it for you, no problem. Got those 2 letters of recommendation, got accepted into graduate school at Carleton University.
That's big.
Because they saw in me that I had potential based on my hard work, based on my research skills, asking them questions, right? Performing well on exams, doing presentations, being involved in debates, stuff like that, discussions, conversations. So I was shocked, and I'm thankful for them for that.
No, that's big. That's big. One thing that you talked about was asking questions, right? And I want you to go into that because some people they're hesitant to ask the question. Maybe they feel embarrassed, or they want to make it seem like, oh, if I ask these questions, they're gonna think I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever, So go into that.
I learned a long time ago. I used to be in that type of mindset, but I was told, and you know this, that there's no such thing as a stupid question, because if you don't know, if you don't ask, you will not know. So it doesn't hurt to ask, because you want to know what you need to do or how to solve a problem, because you don't have that knowledge. It doesn't hurt to ask. And even I was told that from one manager I used to work with, which she was not good at. She told me, don't ask me like in my performance. You ask too many questions. And at the time I felt, I should just. But I realized that, if I don't know something, I need to ask, right? To solve a problem, to solve an issue, to resolve a conflict. Because if you don't. How can you know if you don't ask? It's simple logic, right? So
that's big. That's big. Yeah, man. Because and that's what it is. I love how you're talking about being a student and education, and that's our platform. That's what it's all about: education, and wealth creation, and applying the principles, and many times people will equate a dollar amount to that. So of course the course, there's a fee for the course, but you went to grad school,
right?
So in terms of the how much you have to pay for it, going through that process. But right now, would you say that was worth it?
It was a huge payoff because it gave me opportunities, and I improved my my knowledge. I learned new things, new concepts, new methods, new theories, and it allowed me to direct my interest to certain topics that I like, certain subject matter that allowed me to be where I am today, right? So I mean, investing in yourself is the most important thing you should do in your life, regardless of material things. Because you, as an individual, is an asset. Because think of it this way. If you don't invest yourself, how can you make money to survive and to support yourself and your family to have the lifestyle that you want? Right? Yes, you can invest in the stocks and real estate and all that stuff, but to invest in the stock market, to invest in real estate, and to get into business, you have to invest in yourself to get that knowledge, to get those skills, to get those competencies and the experiences and apply them. So lifelong learning should be a important value of your life, because I like to learn continuously, learn new things, because it will help me improve myself, not only for myself but for my family, and to have the lifestyle that I want. Because there's people out there. At the end of the day, there's more people. There's people out there who are smarter than you. Hang around those types of people. That's what I was told, and you know this as well through this book here. So surround yourself with people who have been through the trenches, who've been through terrible life situations I've been through. I have mentors who've been through that, and learn from them. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to ask them. Even pay them, because forget about the money part. What you get from them is the necessary knowledge through their experiences and expertise for you to get that knowledge, apply it, and to get to where you want to be. Instead of stuck where you are, where you're not happy. You're not growing. You're frustrated, you're stressed out, you're seeing your friends and other people moving up, and you're stuck there. And you become jealous and envious of other people and all that stuff. Why don't you surround yourself with positive people, inspirational people, successful people, wealthy people who have been there, who will be willing to help you. Yes, there's a cost, but there's a cost of not doing it.
Exactly. Right. So you now you got, that's pretty much sounding like how you got in the game.
Right.
It was from the education, from the learning, from the, all the stuff that you.
It was uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Like, if you want change in your life, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to be out of your comfort zone, right? Let me give you an example. Okay, another obstacle that just came to my mind. I was fear of public speaking. Even I wouldn't even do this. So that professor I told you about, who wrote the letter of offer, Professor Laurie Barnjohn at the University of Windsor, he's retired now. He told me in a class one day, in front of us, we did presentations on a political science course and stuff like that. We did presentations. I didn't do well because I was reading from my notes, right? And he said, you guys did okay, but you guys need improvement. And he explained about a story about his brother who was afraid to speak in front of the public because he was nervous, he was shy and all this stuff. So he said his brother went to Toastmasters. He went through Toastmasters, went through the curriculum, and now, at the time, he became a influential public speaker, getting paid at speaking of engagements, events, like interviews, all that stuff. So I said, you know what? I better take it upon myself to become a Toastmaster, to get out of that comfort zone, because especially for graduate school, I have to do presentations and all that stuff. So what I wanted to get into Toastmasters, and I got in. I'm still in Toastmasters. It's been about over 20 years now.
Oh wow!
And I'm confident. I love speaking, talking to you, doing interviews, podcasts. You see my presentations on social media, my videos.
That's what I've heard.
So, because I said, you know what, I have to get out of my comfort zone, get over my fear of nervousness, being shy, make myself available out there, showcase my talent, and then see what happens. And I now be invited to podcasts, events, getting client referrals, business opportunities, investment opportunities.
Okay. So talk about getting in the game now. So, like, your first property. Right? Like, how did it happen? What was it? And then we'll go from there.
So I used the BRRRR strategy, which is buy, I don't know if you heard of it. Buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. So my first property was a brand new home that I bought as a principal residence.
So how did you know to do this?
I took the Rich Dad Poor Dad course. And then I was part of real estate investment clubs in Ottawa. And I learned from wealthy people making millions and millions, and learning from friends as well. Whereby my basement in my house, at the time I was single, and it was collecting dust. It's partially finished, right? And I had an opportunity.
What year was this?
Back in 2005. 2005, 2006. So I took upon myself, and at the time I had a lot of debt from student loans, credit cards, and stuff like that. And I was on a single income at the time, and you know my income was being outpaced by the expenses. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So I took upon myself and said, you know what? Based on what I was talking about the BRRRR strategy and learning from friends and stuff like that, let me renovate my basement, convert it into a basement apartment, because housing affordability is a big issue in Ottawa and everywhere else in Canada, even back then. Let me rent a place to somebody so that they have an affordable place to live. At the same time, I make income from that to help me pay down my debt and my bills.
How long have you had the house by that time?
About, I think, 5 years into it.
Okay.
And you know, I went through the process, screen a tenant, got a long-term tenant, made positive cash flow from it. And then I did the refinance thing, got income, paid down my renovation costs, and then used the equity from that to buy another investment property. And help me pay everything. I didn't have to touch, I didn't have to take any money from my
it's
pocket.
for that, just that initial thing that you did, and then
that helped me develop the confidence, the competency to, you know, to invest in real estate, right? And I continued learning through others, lending RSPs. I'm a private lender too.
Okay.
Lending out my RSPs to people, to investors or borrowers who want to use it to buy real estate. I've been doing that. Then
so talk about that though. Talk about that process. Like, what's that about?
Okay, so there's a concept called arm's length lending, where you lend out your RSPs. For example, it's RSP mortgages, where you lend out your RSPs to, let's say you're an investor or borrower looking for money to buy a property. So I lend my RSPs to you. The RSPs that I lend you, the money that I lend you, is secured against the title of the property.
Okay.
So in case you default or cannot make your mortgage payments, I get part of that property, depending on the legal arrangement, right? So the RSPs that I lend you, the money that I lend you, is secured against title as a second mortgage, right? And then you have your principal mortgage. That gives you the opportunity to buy the property and then get the remaining financing from the bank. In return, you pay me the interest. It could be on a monthly basis or at the end of term. It could be I can lend you money for 1 year or 2 years. So you pay me not only the interest but the administration fee, lender fees, okay? And then you pay me the original amount at the end of the term, okay? So what I get back is not only the interest payment, I get the lender fee back, and I get the original amount that I lend you back, and it's in the RSP, which means I don't get taxed because it's moving from a managed RSP to a self-directed account like Olympia Trust, which I have, which is well known for that. So I save money. Number one, I help. I make interest income on that investment. I get my RSP back, the original amount. I get fees back. I make an additional money on that. I don't pay any tax. Plus, the person that I'm helping, yourself, you get the opportunity to make money on an asset without using a lot of your money none of your money. Exactly. Right? Yeah. So that's the concept.
Up to how much can you give?
Any amount, depending on what the property is. You could give up to 50,000 to $1 million. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And this is what the wealthy do. Not only using their RSPs, they use their inheritance, savings, profits, or whatever, all that stuff.
So to put it on the title, that just requires a lawyer, and you have an agreement.
You need to get an experienced lawyer who knows RSP mortgages or private lending, who knows it very well, right, to protect your interest. Right?
So after a year, say they don't pay, so how you get the?
So what happens is that in my case, Olympia Trust will go after the borrower and ask the borrower to pay a penalty fee, and then pay back that actual amounts or the amounts that they are obligated to pay legally, right? Because if they aren't able to go to give you back the money, you can take them to small claims court, which I think the limit is $25,000 or less. Okay. To sue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense, you know. Yeah, so that's what you're saying is the way to do it. You're saying
That's passive income right there.
Exactly.
Without
exactly.
doing little or no work. Right.
Yeah.
So it's based on the concept of leverage, where you want money to be working for you
Exactly.
rather than you working for money.
Yeah, exactly. So what about the interest? What's the interest amount?
It depends on the loan to value of the property.
Okay.
If it's a high loan to value, like 85%, which is a lot, what I've seen lenders do is charge between at least 10 to 50%, because they want to get that because they want to get
more risk on there.
Yeah. So the higher the LTV,
exactly.
the higher you should, as a private lender, you should charge, especially double digits.
Okay.
But if the LTV is like at least below, let's say 60 to 55%, you could charge in the single digits, like 8%. 9%.
And that's within 1 year? Or?
Within 1 year,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
It could be short term. Some people will ask for private lending to do renovations for 6 months.
Okay.
Or to consolidate for a short period of time and get that back.
Okay. That's big. So you do that. It sounds like you do that frequently for your clients and stuff.
Like lenders, if they I put in touch with like you go through a mortgage broker, or if they have a lawyer, you can do that. And I give them tips and stuff like that, what they need to do.
Okay. That's deep. No, that's very insightful, because I know people, don't know where to get certain money, especially right now. We see the numbers, all around the GTA are all, higher up, and of course people want to make moves, but how you're talking is like you're thinking creative with with the financing.
Yeah, it's creative financing. It's very important, because creative financing is based on leverage. You want to take advantage of that, because you want to use little or none of your money into an asset that will make you money, right? Yeah. To have the lifestyle that you want, right? For yourself and for your family, right? So at the end of the day.
Wow, that's amazing. Talk about for your family, within the map book, we go on all aspects of Focus 11. We focus on all aspects of life, and you came here with your family, and so I want you to, go into that, like, how does that play a part in, like pretty much, of course the business is there, but of course the family is like an important part of, what you're doing.
That, like, family is your support system. Without it, you won't survive. You won't have the life that you want. Your family is your backbone. When you have problems, you have struggles, you go to them for emotional support, for guidance, for help and stuff like that. Like, my parents have been influential in my life. They taught me a lot of life lessons based on their experiences back home in Ghana and here in Canada. They taught me a lot of the values of hard work, helping people out, providing helpful advice, overcoming struggles and stuff like that, and just working hard, and educating your education, very important, right? And I'm sure in your family, that's been emphasized as well. So, and with family, like my wife, she's been great. She's been supportive of my real estate businesses actually, and she wants to get involved in real estate investing as well. Me and her are starting to get into the multifamily space, and she wants to learn more, and I'm teaching her some stuff as well into private lending as well. So family is important, because that's your why. Right now I have a son. That's my motivation to get into real estate, so that when he's when he comes of age where he makes his own decisions, he has something to fall back on, generational wealth that I created, so that he doesn't live paycheck to paycheck, right? Like I went through, right? Because I don't want him to go through the struggles that I went through, so that he can have the life that he wants for himself and his future family, right? So.
That's deep. That's amazing. And I talk about that because, in terms of how we the drive that's in us, because you seem very motivated. Like, when I talk to you, you talk with passion. You talk with, all that. So, of course the family is the core, that's the foundation. But what else gives you that?
I don't want to stay where I am in my life. I want to improve. I want to have a better lifestyle. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I want to have.
So you keep thinking about that, even though right now that's not the case, but you remember that.
Yeah, you have to, because you have to understand, it's not where you. How's the saying? It's not where you. It's not. I forgot the terminology now. It's not where you're from. It's where you're at in life, right? So for me, what motivates me to go is to not live into paycheck to paycheck. Have a financial security. Have the freedom. Have the independence to have the life that you want, on my own terms, at my own time, the way I want it to be. Period. Yeah, period. Right? And that's why I want to instill in other people who are living paycheck to paycheck, who are stuck, who want to have a better life, and not stay where they want to be, or be what they want to be. They want to be in a better place where they're happy. At my life, at the end of the day, I want to have a better quality of life. Period. You know, regardless of where I am financially, I just want to have a better life so that I don't have to worry about bills and all that stuff. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
No, and right now, you know, I noticed like after COVID and stuff, right now, so many people are transitioning, you know, to like, you know, becoming self-employed, or you know, to try to do something on their terms, like I said, you know, on your terms, because I guess that's what people want. It's like a freedom. It's like that freedom, right? So, you know, so what are the steps? What are the steps? Like you went through that process, right? You went through that process. So what are the steps? Like for that person who is in 9 to 5, what are the next steps for them to make that transition to be, you know, financially free and, or, you know, in a wealth position where they can make their own decisions?
So I think psychologically, they have to look within themselves internally to say to themselves, look, do I like the circumstances that I'm in right now? Do I want to continue living paycheck to paycheck, paying my bills, trying to keep up? Do I want to go through that? You know, and do I want to go through this for the rest of my life? Do I want to give my family a mediocre life, or do I want my family to have a successful life, a better quality of life, right? So it starts internally. You want to say to yourself, I don't want to stay where I am. That's number one. And that would be motivation for you to say, okay, how can I get there? Number one, get a coach. Get someone who's smarter than you, right? Get somebody who's been in the trenches, who's made mistakes, but has used those mistakes as fuel to motivate themselves to overcome them and become successful consistently. Surround yourself with those people. 2, get the education. Okay? When you get that education, don't put it on the shelf. Use it. Apply, because you invest your money in it. Why waste your time and effort and money and energy getting that education and not applying what you've learned? You just wasted your time and effort to have an opportunity to be where you want to be, instead of waiting for somebody to help you out. You cannot be dependent on others. You have to be dependent on yourself.
Exactly.
That's why I tell people all the time. So you need to get that education, apply it. When you apply that education, learn about the rules of the game. Learn the rules. Because if you miss one step or you don't apply the necessary one of the rules, you're going to lose. You're going to lose not only financially, but psychologically. I've seen people who lost money investing in real estate because they didn't have the education. They filed for bankruptcy. They went through divorce. They had mental issues, addictions, gambling issues. I've seen it. So from those experiences, I said, I don't want to be in those people's situation. No way. I don't want to be there. And that's why I'm trying to instill in people as a real estate investor, coach, and mentor. I want you guys to not get yourselves in a deeper hole. I want you to go towards the path of prosperity. That's where I want you to be. Right?
So you're saying this is like a common thing, right? Like people invested in, are they not making the right investments? Like what's
because there's 3 mistakes they make. I call them the 3 Ds. Okay. The first one is data, direction, and due diligence. I'll go through each one. People, when they come to investing in real estate, they look at the wrong data. Okay. For example, some people I've seen, especially new investors, rely on somebody else's comments who's not even credible, who doesn't know anything about real estate. They said, okay, buy this property here, this new development, buy this pre-construction, or buy this house here. You'll get a return on your investment. That person didn't do their homework. So you rely on that person who doesn't have that credibility, who doesn't have expertise. Instead of relying on that person, what you need to do is you need to find out if the market or that area, that neighborhood has a lot of quality jobs. Because you invest where the jobs are. That's the principle of real estate investing. Number 2, the numbers, focus on the numbers and remove your emotions. That's the mistake I made. I used my emotions and instead of focusing on the numbers. That's one of the most important principles of real estate investing.
Okay, what happened?
Okay, what happened was I got involved in another real estate deal where I was just excited about the property, the potential of the property, It had a big yard, it was a big lot and everything. I invested my money, and I realized I was losing money. But luckily, because I wasn't focused on the numbers, I just want to get this deal, right? Because I want to make money. So I said to myself, okay, I have to come up with some way to creatively to fill that gap, the loss of that money. So what I did was the same thing I did for my first house, is renovate the basement, the recreational room, renovate it, make it a one-bedroom apartment. Got it done. Converted it from a unit townhouse to a duplex, legal duplex. And I recovered. Okay. So from that experience, I didn't look at the numbers. I made an emotional decision. So that's the thing. So that's where data comes in. The numbers tell you the story. Yeah. The numbers will tell you whether or not the real estate deal is a good one or a bad one. Yeah. So that's one mistake that a lot of new real estate investors do. The second one is that direction. A lot of people don't have a clear direction what they want to get out of real estate. Yes, you want to make money, but what are you going to do with that money? Are you going to give it to a local charity? Are you going to donate to a cause that's important to you and your family? Are you going to donate to a church? Are you going to help with your children's education? Are you going to open a new business? You have to have an objective or goals in mind of what you want to do with that money. Are you going to support your retirement? A lot of people don't do that because they have a vision of real estate. Yes, I want to make money, but they don't know what they want to get out of real estate. And that's where they don't have a clear plan, what they want to get. They don't have a plan that has a real estate investment strategy or strategies to help them achieve their goals. Okay, that's another mistake.
So what are some strategies that they should be thinking about? Like as an objective,
they need to write a personal vision statement. What they want to, in terms like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what has real estate helped you to do, to achieve? So you write the end goal in mind. You write this for the facts for example, you say to yourself, on this date, I have a vacation beach house in Panama. I have several properties that are funding my lifestyle. My family's good. Yeah. I have local businesses in Panama supporting the local economy. I have a business helping people, educating people. I have an academy educating people about real estate investing. I'm doing to my local church. Stuff like that. Yeah, you write that. You write it down. Write it down because they did studies. If you write it down, it will become true. It's a manifestation.
Exactly.
Right?
That goes right back in that book. You know what I mean?
Right? So that's what you need to have a clear plan what you want to get out of real estate. That's the number one. That's another thing. And a lot of new real estate investors make that mistake. The third one, which is also important too, and it's related to the data part, is the due diligence. You have to do your due diligence in terms of the numbers. Okay, the history of the property. Okay, the numbers look good, but what's your exit strategy from it? Are you going to do a rent to own? Are you going to do a JV? Are you going to do a burst strategy? Are you going to do a rent to own? Are you going to keep it, do a buy and hold? Are there any opportunities to develop around that property? Are there any developments that might impact the value of the property, right? How's the neighborhood? What's the tenant profile? Is this property good for students? Is it good for professionals, for seniors, for employees, stuff like that?
No, yeah, that's real. That's
so
real.
The 3Ds, those are the three mistakes that new real estate investors do: lack of looking at the right data, not doing their due diligence, and not having a clear direction of what they want to get out of real estate.
Okay, that's it. That's big. Well, top podcast. We get these gems over here. That's amazing. No, seriously. Like right now, like investing is definitely something that it's becoming on more and more people's minds. Yeah. And because people see what it is. Like right now, inflation. We see inflation. So right now it's about okay, where are you putting your money into, right? And with what you teach, with the investing, I like how you're focused on the mistakes because everyone's doing them, but along the way, these are some things that happen, along the way. So it's kind of like you're giving an insight, ahead of time, right?
Right. So you have to understand in this day and age right now, as you know, having a single income is not enough anymore. It's not enough anymore. You need to have a side hustle. You need to have additional income to pay your bills because everything is going up, and that's why I advise people.
Sources of income, MSI.
Single income is not the norm anymore. Look at first-time home buyers. They can't even afford to buy a home. No. Because the income is not enough. It's because inflation is outpacing incomes, right? Significantly. So I tell people, if you want to have the life that you want, yes, you need to have your single income, but you need to have additional income as a emergency fund, so to speak. So in case you lose your job, you can rely on that, right? Exactly. And during that time, and I advise people who are working 9 to 5, okay, use your single income to help you fund your lifestyle in terms of getting into real estate investing. Even start little. Not real estate investing. Start investing into stock market, investing in education, real estate investment education, and so forth, and learn about creative financing strategy. Another strategy that I've learned from several people, even what some of my mentors have done, is that you can use vendor take back mortgage, where you don't even need to use your own money. You just borrow from the owner of the property, in which he or she will self-finance the property for you as the buyer, where you don't have the money. And then you have ownership of the property when you pay them back the loan. They'll give you a loan for that. So that's an example that I've learned from my mentors that I've seen. And it helps people who cannot get into the market, right? And then of course, for first-time home buyers, take advantage of the government programs like the Home Buyers Plan. I think there's the first-time home buyers plan. There's the one with the TFSA. There's a land transfer tax rebate in Ontario, for example. So first-time home buyers can take advantage of that. But I implore to first-time home buyers, and this is important, spend what you can afford. Don't think of the fact that you can buy a big house. The reality is you have to look at the numbers, what you can realistically afford. Spend what you can afford, period. Even if it's a condo, start from there. Accumulate your equity for 3 or 5 years, and then take the equity out through refinance and buy another property, and then you can rent out that property or sell it and then buy another property. That's how I started. Right?
So what areas right now are you looking at? Like what areas interest you?
In terms of real estate investing, I'm looking into multifamily, as I mentioned. I'm doing a lot of private lending. I'm getting a lot involved in coaching and mentoring. As you are aware, I have an online course, which is called the Successful Real Estate Investor Master Class course.
Okay.
And basically, it talks about real estate investing 101 from A to Z.
Okay.
Right? And you get tips, you get actually case studies of how to analyze property.
Yeah.
And there's a tutorial about that, how to analyze properties, what indicators to look for. For example, cash on cash. You look at that to see if the property is worth investing your money in. And then you look at it, gives you tips, a guide about where to invest in which markets to invest, how to find a market where to invest, how to find opportunities, off-market opportunities, and all that stuff. It's a YouTube tutorial course, and you get guidance documents, you get preparation documents, and you learn about real life stuff.
How do you like? Where do you go for that?
It's on my website. It's called course.michaelbarthur.com.
Okay, that's nice. Nice. Yeah, man, the education is key. You know, like, and that's what I'm saying. It's a head start. Like, I always, like you said, me too. I'm the same like you. You know, I'm always learning. Always in a new course. Always, in something, because it's like, the information is unlimited, right? And it keeps expanding, right? So it's like, you just like, you want some of that because, it's
there's new things that you have to trying to keep up. It's not easy,
exactly.
But you learn new things and you learn from new people. You do research. You talk to people. You participate in webinars, seminars, as I do all the time, just to keep up and learn new things. That gives you better opportunities to build wealth, all right, or to learn a new skill that you can apply to help other people reach their potential, right? To help solve their problems, their pain points, right? So, yeah.
Okay. No, I appreciate you. Yeah. Michael Arthur here on the Wealth Top podcast. Also let us know, like, where else to find you or.
Okay, sure, great. I'm on Facebook. My name is Michael B as in Bob, Arthur. I'm on Instagram at Mike V Agent, Mikethegent 613 on Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, so you're also a real estate broker as well. You're like,
I'm a realtor as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what your clients right now, like what your clients when you're out there, you know, because I hear you saying 9 to 5 to that 9 to 5. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe that's the like a lot of clients you reaching out to them 9 to 5, right?
Yep.
And, but the thing is, sometimes their mindset, you know, and you know, that's where we're going to the map because their mindset is not there. So does that motivate you? Like, I'm sure you've come to where they were more clueless about, real estate investing. You know, they were just more thinking, okay, I'm going to work 9 to 5, and then you give them the nice switch of mindset, and then show them how the game works, right?
Because they're taught in school that you get educated, get a job, work 9 to 5, work 30 to 40 years, and get a pension. In today's environment, that's not the case, because getting a pension, especially if you work in a factory or even a regular company or government or private sector, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, right? So you need to have a second source or additional sources of income to help you in case you don't have enough for retirement, you don't have enough for your kids' school, you don't have enough time for to have the lifestyle that you want to have, right? So I motivate others saying that it's okay. I'm not saying quit your 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
Keep your 9 to 5 job, but have some types of security beside your 9 to 5 job to support you in case your 9 to 5 job you get sick and tired of it, or in case you get laid off. Right? So that's what I advise people all the time, and that's why it motivates and coaches. And most of my clients are 9 to 5 people.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
no, because I wanted to really emphasize that because I see the same thing. But sometimes when talking to them, they say, "Yeah, I know I'm going to do this." Like I had a client of mine that I'm trying to really get into it, and say, "Oh yeah, I know, but." You know, I like even this house, I wanted to get that, but like, so you could tell they want to do it, right? But then like, the fear or something like that is holding them back, right? And then they don't move forward because, that I don't know, like maybe it's risk or something.
There's reasons why. Obviously, it's a fear of failure and all that stuff. Behind that is this lack of motivation. It's not a priority, and most importantly, lack of education, right? Because they rely on the media or what setback someone has. The media says this. This person had lost money. I don't want to get in it. But that person and the media, they're not educated enough about real estate investing. So that's where my online course. I fill in the gap and tell them reality. So don't rely what someone says. Rely on people who are wealthier. Who are educated, who know what they're doing, who failed as well, but they persevere by learning from their mistakes and learning new things. They got people, like the billionaires of the world. They learned. They made mistakes. They got coaches. They got mentors. And they learn every day. So people have to do it. You have to do the work. Because, like the saying goes, no one's going to do the push-ups for you. You have to do them yourself. Because if you don't take action, you're not going to get the results that you want.
Okay.
And don't rely on waiting for somebody or the government to help you. Because the government's not going to bail you out. You have to do things for yourself.
Okay. And do you serve the areas that you service? Do you service all of Ontario or?
Yeah, like my realtor license services all of Ontario.
Pretty much. So any client wants to reach out to you anywhere? Okay, nice. And to reach out to you there, same contact?
Same contact. Okay. My phone number is 613-890-7653.
Okay, that's blessed. That's Michael B. Arthur. You have any final words?
No, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to, provide, my insights about my life, my real estate investing journey, my business, and, just to educate people out there about the importance of taking action, about improving their life, and, improving themselves to have the life that they want at the end of the day, right?
Because inside, everyone really wants that. Right? It's just they're trying to find the information, and you're, thankful you came and you gave some gems, like real big ones, because I like how you're coming with the reality. This is what it is.
It's from real life experience. Because opportunity, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, opportunity doesn't come to you. You have to go after that opportunity. And if you cannot find that opportunity, create one. Right? So that's what my last words for this is: you need to take action to have the lifestyle you want, to get the results that you want. If you don't do that, you're going to be in the same position that you're in right now, where you're not happy, you're not growing. So step out of your comfort zone. If you're stuck, you're not. Look for help. Get help. Get help. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you look weak. It makes you better. Right? It makes you better because there's opportunities out there for the grabbing. There's wealth to be made. There's money to be made out there. Take advantage of it. Period.
That's amazing. Michael B. Arthur, I appreciate you.
Yes, man.
I know you came in, man. You can talk.